Hey you guys, Amber here for my second video of the day. I mentioned that I was going to be doing this one in my last video. If you aren't familiar with me from before I started this channel, let me give you a brief overview of who I am. I am a fitness and health blogger. I've been blogging for about 6 years. I lost a large amount of weight and have maintained the weight loss. But on top of that, that's not my claim to fame. I'm a certified health educator, a certified personal trainer, and a certified health coach. So I've been to school and passed a certification exam for all of those things. So I have the qualifications and the certifications to help people with health and fitness and nutrition to a point. I am qualified to coach the general population as far as general nutrition as per like public health recommendations. I'm not qualified to give nutrition advice for medical conditions. So that is brief description of my qualifications. My original blog is GoKaleo, which is a play on kale and paleo. It's a total joke. I am as anti-fat diet as you can get. I made up the word kaleo to make fun of fad diets. Like, oh, you know, it's not enough to be vegan or paleo. You have to be vegan paleo in order to be healthy and lose weight. That's where that came from. It was like, how extreme can we get? The diets keep getting more extreme. I made up the word paleo 6 years ago, and in the time since, there have been actual real people who have really written diet books about vegan paleo. Like, what started out as a joke for me has become a reality. Like, it's not a joke anymore. People actually have written these books and are trying to be vegan paleo, which is extreme, extreme, extreme. That is an extreme diet. It should be a joke. It should be a joke. People should not be trying to be vegan paleo. Like, it's extreme. So I'm going off on a tangent. The point I wanted to make was that I have 3 certifications, and I'm not qualified to give nutrition advice to people with medical conditions. So imagine the lack of qualifications that random YouTubers have. And yet, if my YouTube feed is any indication, we have, you know, people all over the place who are not qualified, who are not certified, who haven't passed any exams, who haven't taken any nutrition courses, giving nutrition advice and even medical advice to their viewers. And I think a lot of times people don't realize they're giving medical advice, but you know, saying something like, oh, well, if you have insulin resistance or diabetes, you should eat low carb. That's medical advice, and you shouldn't be telling people that. No one should, except that person's doctor. So I want to give a warning both to the people who are giving this advice and to the viewers who may be taking this advice. Be very careful who you take your nutrition advice from. Check for certifications. Really check. Don't just assume that because somebody is saying something that they're qualified to be saying it, because a lot of times they're not. Sometimes I can't even find a person's qualifications. Yesterday I was watching a video, and the woman was giving nutrition advice, and I thought, you know, and she had written a diet book, in fact, and I thought, you know, I'd kind of like to know what this person's qualifications are. So I went looking, I found her website, could not find anywhere on her website what her qualifications were, leading me to believe that she does not have qualifications to be giving nutrition advice or writing a diet book. And I don't want to bash people, because with all of the diet books out there and all of the people giving nutrition advice, it's easy to assume that it's okay. It's easy to assume that because you have, successfully lost weight, you are then therefore qualified to counsel people on losing weight and, give people nutrition advice because everybody else is doing it. So why don't, it can't be a problem if everybody's doing it, and everybody really is doing it. And it is a problem. And the obesity epidemic, in my opinion, isn't because of a lack of nutrition information. It's because of too much nutrition information, too much unqualified nutrition information. It's not okay to be giving or taking nutrition advice if you're not qualified or the person you're listening to isn't qualified. It can be very dangerous, especially if you have a medical condition that needs some, special nutrition considerations. The person you should be taking medical and nutrition advice from is your doctor and your dietitian, your registered dietitian, not a random person on YouTube or Facebook or the internet in general. So like I said, look for qualifications. If you can't find any, it probably means that they are not qualified. And it's important to make sure when you're taking advice on health issues that the advice you're getting is credible and from a qualified individual. And even I, with 3 health-related certifications, am not qualified to give nutrition advice to people with medical conditions. So like I said, imagine how unqualified random strangers on YouTube are. So that's my warning, first of all. And if you're doing it, it doesn't mean I think you're a bad person. It means that you may have some bad information. And be careful because you can be liable. So if you're not qualified to be giving nutrition information, best to just not risk anything and just not give nutrition information or advice to your viewers. So there's a couple things that I wanted to touch on. Other than that, I wanted to give that warning first. The most common thing that I'm seeing is detoxes. YouTubers selling detox teas, detox juice cleanses. 100% of these detox cleanse type things are a complete scam. 100%. They all are a scam. They are expensive. They do nothing for you other than drain your bank account and probably your bowels, because what most of them are is laxatives. Most of the teas are laxative teas. The juice cleanses are not a cleanse. They're just juice, and you can mess up your body by going too long without eating enough food. And what juice cleanses generally do is restrict your calories to a level that is both unsustainable and, unrealistic. And so, yeah, you may lose a lot of weight. I mean, a little weight. You're not going to lose a lot of weight. But in most cases, the weight you lose is just going to be fluids, and it's going to, you're going to lose it in the form of diarrhea. Or you may lose a tiny bit of actual weight, but the minute you go off your cleanse, you're going to gain it back because you're just going to go back to your old habits. Now, oh crap, I lost my train of thought. So, I know. Your body detoxifies and cleanses itself. Your body has a very elegant and effective systems built in for detoxification. It's your liver and your kidneys. That's what they're there for. They filter out the toxins and the stuff your body doesn't need and eliminate it through your urine and feces. That is how your body detoxifies itself. And you don't need to take anything to aid in detoxification. Your body does just fine. And if it's not doing fine, if your body is not effectively detoxifying you, you need to be in the hospital getting medical, like acute medical care. You will know if your body's detoxification systems aren't working. You don't need to aid them unless they break down. And if they break down, you don't need a cleanse, you don't need juice, you need medical treatment as soon as possible, like emergency medical treatment. So yes, detoxes and cleanse, utter, complete scam, usually very expensive scam. Don't work, don't do what they say they're gonna do. Can set you up for rebound weight gain and also potentially dehydration, because that's what they do. They eliminate the fluids from your body. So just avoid those. If a YouTube personality is selling them, just pass. You don't need them, and all they do is cost you money and potentially even dangerous. So just don't buy the cleanses. Don't buy them, don't do them, you don't need them. And the other thing that I wanted to touch on was holiday weight gain. And that's another thing that I'm seeing a lot on my feed. The people that I follow, a lot of the women I follow are have mentioned that they gained a significant amount of weight over the holidays, 10, 15 pounds, and that they're gonna go on a diet and lose it again. And I just wanted to say that if you gained that much weight over the holidays, it means that something's wrong with your basic day-to-day habits. It means that whatever you were doing before the holidays to maintain your weight wasn't sustainable and didn't offer the flexibility and balance necessary to maintain your weight when, you know, the holidays come and kind of throw you off your routine. It means that whatever you were doing was probably too extreme, because if your habits, your day-to-day habits, the habits that produce your weight maintenance are not flexible enough that you can go off your habits for a couple days and then go right back on them. If your habits are not that flexible, then they're not sustainable long term. And you should be able to have a few days of celebration and, you know, then go right back to your regular habits and do fine and, you know, get through the holidays without gaining weight. If there is such a clear demarcation between your pre-holiday habits and your holiday, you know, your behavior during the holidays, if the two are so different that you gain a significant amount of weight when you're practicing your holiday behaviors, then your regular behaviors are not sustainable and not balanced and not flexible enough. So rather than going on a diet to lose the weight, what I would suggest is taking a good look at those non-holiday behaviors and tweaking them just a little bit so that when holidays come around, you're able to, you know, deviate from your regular routine a little, but then get right back on it painlessly, seamlessly. Yeah, you want to work on those day-to-day habits, not focus on the behavior, your holiday behavior. Don't focus on that. Don't, you know, beat yourself up for going off. Don't fixate and obsess on what you did wrong. Instead, take these behaviors, take a good look at them, your day-to-day habits, look for ways that you can just tweak them slightly to make them more sustainable, more pleasant, more balanced, so that you're able to very flexibly just get right back to your regular routine on the non-holiday days during the holidays. That makes sense? So yeah, I'm not selling anything. I'm not, you know, trying to shill for anybody. I'm not selling anything with this video. I needed to tell you my qualifications to really drive home how unqualified most people are to be giving the advice that they're giving. I just wanted to get on here and say, be careful. And better to focus on your day-to-day habits, the behaviors that you practice all year round, than to fixate on holiday weight gain and diets. And, you know, everybody has that. It's not a big deal. These are the big deal. The day-to-day habits that you practice year round, these are the big deal. if they're not working for you, and a 10-pound weight gain over the holidays would indicate that these habits aren't quite perfect, that they're not quite sustainable, that they may be a little too extreme, because going off of them produces such a big weight gain. Focus on these habits. Change them if you need to, but change them in small ways, a little bit at a time. And that'll set you up for long-term weight maintenance at a weight that is reasonable and sustainable. It may be, you know, it may not be a BMI 18 with size 0, but it'll be healthy. So these behaviors are healthy and balanced and reasonable, and they allow for flexibility. They allow for treats. They allow for a enjoyable life. They allow you to go out to eat and then to get right back to your regular routine. They allow you to stay active. You're not starving yourself. You're not binging. You're not going from extreme to extreme. You're existing in a very fluid, very flexible, very balanced state. And this is where you want to be. And this is where you want your attention to go to creating those habits. Because once you have those habits built, you just rely on them. They're habits. You don't need to think about them. You know, habits like taking a walk every day, or eating more vegetables, or, you know, reducing your portion sizes ever so slightly. Yeah. So yes, I'm not selling anything. I'm not promoting any products. Just trying to give some perspective to what is, I'm seeing, not a very healthy, not a very balanced culture here on YouTube. I think Facebook, at least the Facebook that I engage in, has made some progress. I'm seeing much less extreme thinking on Facebook, but I think YouTube has a way to go. So my name's Amber. My blog is GoKaleo, the same as here except without the style. This channel is my side project. It's just where, you know, I built this channel to talk about makeup and fashion and other fun stuff. And it's my fun, lighthearted side project. But my official main blog is GoKaleo. I specialize in body positive fitness. I specialize in body image. I specialize in disordered eating, like recognizing it and creating new ways of looking at food and health and exercise. Not eating disorders, because I'm not qualified to treat eating disorders. I always refer out when I recognize that that's what's going on. But I have a lot of knowledge and expertise in, you know, recognizing the disordered eating that is promoted by our culture. So body positive fitness, body image, eating disorders, and middle-age fitness and nutrition. Because I'm middle-aged, and most of my clients are middle-aged, and that's where most of my attention and knowledge goes and comes from. So that's me in a nutshell. I don't know what else to say. I didn't want this video to go on and on, but I think it has. Just be careful. Be mindful of where the information you're consuming. And if you're giving advice, be very, very careful, because you can be liable if somebody misunderstands. Or, well, I take that back. If somebody misunderstands what you said, you're not liable. But if somebody takes your advice and you were giving advice that you weren't qualified for, and somebody gets hurt because of it, then you would be liable. So be careful what you say. Be careful not to exceed your qualifications. And that's, you know, I'm not saying that to be mean. I'm saying that because I am concerned about the misinformation I'm seeing out there, and I would like to change it. I would like to change the culture, the fitness and diet culture of YouTube. So that's why I made this video. I really appreciate you watching. I appreciate you sharing if you feel it's appropriate. So yes, I will look forward to seeing you in my next video. Go ahead and subscribe. Talk to you later.